The Pacific Ocean, the Earth's largest and deepest, has 46% of the Earth's water surface and is over 35,000 feet deep in the Mariana Trench. As we circle the Pacific, following a path known as the Ring of Fire, 5 of the Earth's 7 continents are visited. This ring being home to 90% of the world's earthquakes and 75% of all volcanoes. Rio, our first stop, has 3 world-famous sites to visit: Sugarloaf Mountain, Copacabana Beach, and the statue of Christ the Redeemer.
When she walks, she's like a samba that swings so cool and sways so gently that when she passes.
Just the picture of Sugarloaf identifies Rio in many movies. From Copacabana Beach, we ascend by gondola to the top of the 1,300-foot-high Sugarloaf Mountain. Copacabana Beach is below us, and Ipanema Beach is just beyond it.
Yes, he would give his heart gladly, but each day when she walks.
Considered one of the 7 wonders of the New World, and standing 120 feet tall atop 2,300-foot Mount Corcovado, Christ the Redeemer is awe-inspiring to its millions of visitors. Upon seeing Iguazu Falls, our next stop, First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt was said to say, "Poor Niagara." From the Argentina side, which has 2/3 of the falls, an all-day tour is by bus, train, boat, and walking. The half-mile-long walkway, Paseo Garganta del Diablo, takes us to Iguazu's largest falls. Iguazu, with 275 falls covering almost 1 3/4 miles, has only 2/3 the water flow of Africa's famous Victoria Falls. The U-shaped lower falls provides vistas and adventure. We descend to the river for a refreshing, up-close and personal aquatic experience with Iguazu. We survive. Next stop, the driest continent on Earth. Ushuaia is the starting point to cross the treacherous 600-mile Drake Passage to Antarctica, the coldest, driest, and windiest continent on Earth. 98% covered by ice, we can see Antarctica's actual landmass when we melt away the ice. With little to no precipitation inland, this is the largest desert on Earth. From the Nordnorg, we board tenders after donning Arctic gear and disinfecting our boots for the first onshore adventure. The temperature during summer, December to February, is a toasty 28 to 32 degrees Fahrenheit. but the wind chill makes our survival gear essential. The highly trained crew deposits us in the middle of the daily life of these Gentoo penguins. It's easy to see who lost this argument. Between shore adventures, a daily continuous display of icebergs and mountains draws photographers and other brave souls on deck. Experience of a lifetime. Daylight at midnight to see in the new year. Port Lockroy is home to the only post office on this continent. It also is home to Gentoo penguins. Gentoo penguins, who we saw before, are thought to mate for life. They start the process with nest building. Is this male saying, "I don't know what she wants"? During the 34 to 36 day incubation, both parents share in keeping the eggs warm. This young chick, next to its unhatched sibling, feeds on krill regurgitated by its parent. This adventure, a visit to an iceberg.
Crystal.
Look at the color. Isn't that beautiful?
My God. How old, when you say old, what are you talking about?
Thousands of years.
Thousands of years?
Icebergs are sky blue in color because they only absorb a small portion of red light that enters them. This tints the ice blue, even though it is perfectly clear. Adelie penguins, our quarry today, are the smallest and most widely distributed penguins in Antarctica. These 30-inch tall, 10-pound birds can dive up to 500 feet for krill and are fierce competitors for nesting spots. The March of the Adelie Penguins, choreographed just for us. We are just overcome with photomania, watching these thousands of breeding pairs of Adelie penguins. In nursery groups called creches, they jealously guard their nest and 3 to 4 week-old chicks. Meanwhile, these large coordinated groups of Adelies take to the sea for krill, the shrimp-like major food source of Arctic life. Upon landing today, this crab-eater seal draws our attention before this panorama of well over 1 million Adelie penguins. This is one of the penguin's efficient ways of moving on land. Would you call it breastboarding? We have an Animal Planet experience, witnessing these adult Adelie penguins literally gang attack a chick who has lost its mother and nest. It did find its mother. Returning from krill feeding, these Adelies show us some penguin Olympic-style jumps. Chinstrap penguins, the most numerous of all Antarctic penguins, are sometimes called stone cracker penguins because of their high-pitched call. Chinstraps, unlike other penguins, do not preferentially feed the stronger chick, but treat them equally. The diet of this crab-eater seal is krill, not this chinstrap penguin. Penguins mimic the dolphin's elegant, efficient style of sea travel, and are capable of climbing impressive heights. The final iceberg parade as we head for the Drake Passage and Patagonia. Patagonia is the geographic region containing the southernmost portion of South America. Mostly located in Argentina and partly in Chile, it marks the southern end of the Andes Mountains. Our welcoming port to Patagonia, Puerto Williams, facing the Beagle Channel, is home to the famous Micalvi Yacht Club. This only 5-inch tall pygmy barn owl and the other Patagonia wildlife have us fascinated. But the guanaco is a favorite. Extremely striking with their large, alert brown eyes, they belong to the camel family and are native to South America. Guanacos are wild, while their close cousin, the llama, is domesticated. Our hostess welcomes us to Estancia Olga Teresa, a working Chilean sheep ranch. First, the mastery of sheep herding. Get a skilled sheepdog like this. These Huasos, or Chilean cowboys, practice year-round to hone these award-winning rodeo skills. These sheep produce about 8 to 10 pounds of wool each year. I guess naked is the word for this look. For lunch, lamb from this open pit barbecue. We move forward by one day as we cross the international date line on the 12-hour, 6,000-mile flight to New Zealand. Auckland, containing 1/4 of all New Zealanders, is also home to the largest urban Polynesian population in the world. These gulls in Devonport, reached by ferry from Auckland, are demonstrating the avian version of liplock. Modern kite surfing, sometimes called parasurfing, was partially developed in New Zealand in the late 90s and now has an estimated 250,000 participants. They make it look so easy. We leave New Zealand for Australia. The Great Barrier Reef is the world's largest coral reef and can be seen from outer space. This is the world's largest single structure made by living organisms. The MS Reef Endeavour, our home for the next week, is like a floating IMAX movie. By tender, we have 2 snorkeling options. The first, by our visits to a string of gorgeous beaches. The second option, from open water. Reefs are teeming with life. Corals are the lifeblood of the reef. Some sway like flowers in a breeze, others masquerade as stones. But all corals are living things made up of millions of genetically identical polyps. The reef depends on them to recycle nutrients that support the incredible biodiversity we experience. Their demise by global warming spells disaster for the reef. Perth lies slightly inland from the Indian Ocean on the Swan River. It has a population of over 1.5 million and is the capital of Western Australia. The modern skyline of Perth leaves us on the trip down the very cosmopolitan Swan River to the major seaport of Fremantle. Our destination from Fremantle, tiny Rottnest Island, and a chance to see quokkas. This small, very rare, very cute marsupial is about the size of a house cat and are the stars of Rottnest, one of its only homes. Back to Perth for more Animal Planet experiences. Across the Swan River by ferry is the world-class Perth Zoo. After a briefing by Docent Julie, we visit first the African savanna section of the zoo. Next stop, Meerkat Manor. Blue or fairy penguins are the smallest of all penguins and call Australia home. Two-thirds of all marsupials are native to Australia, the numbat being one. It's doubtful that the videographer would be this brave without that glass wall. We re-enter the Northern Hemisphere, heading for tiny Phuket Island, approximately 500 miles south of Bangkok on the Andaman Sea. Phuket's reputation as a world-class resort destination isn't too hard to believe. The gentle Andaman Sea, at a constant 78 degrees, becomes a difficult decision with the pool. Meanwhile, back at poolside, is he saying La Dolce Vita? The first lesson of Thai cooking school is to get the hat on right. Our chef first prepares a coconut leaf-based custard for us. As he informs us, we cook everything else. Our first dish, papaya salad. The final touch, and the final test. Hot and sour shrimp soup is our favorite, made with fresh ingredients by eager, hungry students. wait. Sweet and sour pork might be better. It looks delicious, and it gets our approval. And we get our diplomas. Vietnam, our next stop, has become a travel destination for not only its value, but its culture and beauty. The ancient city of Hoa An is only a short distance from Da Nang, our first stop. This World Heritage Site is bustling with typical Vietnamese life. Not only fruit and vegetables, as well as meat, some of it live, are sold in these small street plots, but also designer name clothing, its authenticity not really guaranteed. We bargain for clothes, not food. Nha Trang is rapidly becoming a tourist destination for its beaches, but today's tour is first to the Oceanographic Institute. Then a visit to this Buddhist temple and shrine. On the Khai River, running into Cam Ranh Bay, these round boats, or Thien Thung, are peculiar to this region of Vietnam. Upstream, a look at rural life, and then back to Cam Ranh Bay and a shy goodbye from our boat driver's children. The cyclo, or cycle rickshaw, is the ideal way to see Nha Trang, each street offering a different view of Vietnamese life. Hong Kong, part of the Republic of China since 1997, is a showcase for architecture like this futuristic 15-story shopping mall. With entertainment. A block away is one of the many open markets supplying the local citizens with everything from pork to frogs, live fish, and state fair quality fruits and vegetables. The last arc of the circle returns us to California. The beauty and pristine sights we have witnessed are being threatened, though as never before, unfortunately by us. The world we leave our children, as adults, depends on our ability to not only solve the problems, but first just to admit they exist. A final thought then.